Hi everybody, Jeri Bellini here from My Arts and Parts, and today I'm going to show you how to make a few embellishments for your snippet roll. So this is going to be our mock-up snippet roll strip, and the first embellishment I'm going to show you is this rolled flower. And I'm going to put mine on a base. So that's what this is. It's actually the same exact fabric as this. So that's going to be my base. And I am going to be using this fabric tack glue. You can use a glue gun. I just don't feel like getting mine out. So we're going to use a strip. I'm going to use a strip of muslin. In this case, you can use whatever fabric you want. This is 1.5 inches wide. I want to make a small flower. Okay. So it's 1.5 inches wide. You can make it even more narrow than that. You're going to fold it in half. Let me zoom you in a little so you can really see my hands. Okay, we folded it in half. Now we're going to fold this down, and now we're going to fold this over. Okay, now also keep handy a little clip. So I'm just going to clip this for a second and let it sit on my desk. Here it is right here. And I want you to see everything I'm doing. All right, now I'm going to take my glue, which is right off to my left, and I'm going to apply it to this little fabric square, approximately the size of the rose I want to make, and be generous, okay? Or use hot glue. If you use hot glue, you can do it a little bit differently, which I'm not going to get into in this video. All right, so now I've got my little thing. So now the next thing you're going to do, and remember this is, you want to keep this folded in half, you're going to start to twist it. And you can twist it in whatever direction you want. You can twist it up or you can twist it down, whichever feels most comfortable to you. Okay, and so now you're going to push the center down onto your fabric square, and you're going to start attaching it. You see, and you'll just have to keep moving. Now I need a little more glue over there. That's why you have to keep that glue handy. And this glue is awesome for fabric, and it dries really clear. So I'm just going to keep twisting. And going around like that. Twisting. Okay, pushing, twisting. All right, I need a little more glue here, and I am going to end it because I'm going to make a tiny one. But I need a little more glue here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this kind of on the diagonal. All right, you see that? Kind of on the diagonal. And then I'm going to continue twisting. And I like frayed edges. I am not afraid of a frayed edge. So I'm going to keep twisting this, and then the glue is still wet, so like don't get up and go get a cup of coffee in the middle of this. So you can just tuck that end right underneath because the glue is still wet, and press down. Okay? Every single one of your flowers is going to look a little different. I love them. All right, so this one is not exactly centered, and that doesn't bother me at all. This one is, and this one's just a tad bigger. I personally would use this whole piece and put this whole piece down on my snippet roll, and then you know, put other embellishments around it. You see? All right. Oops. We're off frame. That's what happens when you zoom in. All right. So that's the little rolled flower. I'll be back in a minute. I'll show you something else. All right. Let's do this little gold flower next. And I'm going to use this trim. So I'm going to just kind of wind it around in a flower shape first before I do anything else. And now I'm going to turn it over and see where it lands comfortably. And now I'm going to put the glue where I see it lands. And again, I've got the glue ready. And would you believe this glue is drying already? So I've got the glue ready. Put a little bit of glue. And then put that there. If you need to, let this clip hold this for a second, okay? This glue is really nice, so I'm gonna just keep going. And you can trim off anything crazy when you're finished. So I'm just gonna go around again, and I think I wanna stop right there. So I'm gonna cut this off a little bit longer than I want. Okay. Turn it over, put glue. I'm going to put glue here on this piece. Okay. This is the top. I should have had a baby wipe here. Now, this very last little thing I'm going to fold under. So the next one that I'm going to show you, I have my needle and thread ready. It's double thread. I got a little knot at the end, and I'm ready with that. I'm going to take a little piece of netting, and I'm just going to gather it. Okay, and I'm just going to stick my needle through the netting and then wrap it around a couple times. Okay, and you can tie a knot. That's probably the easiest thing to do. Start layering, actually. All right. There's a little button on top of it. Okay. The other thing is you can take just little bits of random lace. That's a little piece, you know, normal people would throw that in the garbage. And just, you know, stick that down. Maybe stick that underneath. And then put that, you know, put that on top. You can use little tiny doilies. Okay, the next one we're going to do is this one. And you're going to use about, this is about 3/8 of an inch, 1/4 of an inch, 1/2 an inch. And we're going to wrap it around our fingers, 2 fingers. This is about, everybody has different size fingers, right? About 1 1/4 inches. Let's do 10. And depending on how thick this is, you know, you be the judge. And I did get a little twisty, and I'm not going to worry about that. Now, I've got this loop. I'm going to push it together. And I have my needle and thread handy with a knot at the end, and I'm going to go in the center, and I'm going to go back down through the center. Now I'm at the back, back up again. This is not precision sewing. I like to do things that kind of have a random natural look. All right, so I went back and forth a few times. So I want to put a bead on here in the center. So I'm going to come back up to the front, and I have a couple of beads over here off to my left. I'm going to put a bead on there. And a little tip with beading. So we've got the bead on there, and we're coming up. If we go straight back down, you're going to see this big thread. You're going to see the thread. So if you take a little tiny seed bead and put it on next, and then you go back down through your main bead, You see? You don't see the string. You see a tiny little bit of it, but you really don't see it as if you did it just went back through that. Okay? Trim it. And now the fun part is to just pull it apart. And if anything, flops out like that, you can always go back in and tack it down. Could use a little glue if you like. So this one came out, so I'll just go in and tack that down. Isn't that pretty? Trim it off. And I'm gonna leave that because I think it's pretty. Okay, this one we're just going to use a piece of lace and we're going to gather it up the middle. So I've got my needle and thread and I'm just going to do a big running stitch up the center. And when you do that and then you pull on it, don't pull too tight because the knot will go right through. But when you pull on it, you make this cute little ruffle. You can just put it straight. Let me move some of these. Like that. And then embellish on top of it. So now here we have little strips of, this happens to be lace, but you can use a ribbon or whatever. And I just cut a whole bunch of them into like, I don't know, 2 to 3 inches. I'm probably trimming them after. And laying them down. And then I take another piece and I tie it around the bundle, okay, and then put that down on your snippet. Okay. All right, that's beautiful. You could even do that, right? You can take some rickrack and just go back and forth and do the same thing as we did with this one, or you can use your needle and thread. I'm sure there's many more that you will think of on your own. I just wanted to give you just a quickie idea of what I do. I just start playing. I pick things up and I just start playing with them. All right, and I'm going to show you one more thing. This is the string from the tags from Staples, and I saved it and I actually tea-dyed it. And here I just grabbed a bundle of them and tied them together. So I'm not even going to bother showing you how I did that. This is a piece of trim and I actually just pulled it apart. So whatever you have, try to rip it in half and take advantage of the frayed edges that it creates, and then just cut a piece of it and stitch it down. Right? Seriously cute. All right, that's it for me for today, guys. This is just some randomness, and I hope that you enjoyed this, and I hope that you will make your own snippet roll, and if you come up with any cool ideas of things to put on it, by all means, please share. So thanks so much, guys. I hope you have a blessed day full of love and art, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.